Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Guitar. This is Utkarsh, and today I'm going to show you my latest acquisition, um, the PRS Custom 24 8 string Holcomb. I guess it's a Holcomb, look at the knobs, in double stain gray. So let's hear how this guitar sounds, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. Maybe some chunks just for fun. Okay, so what is this guitar? This is, to the best of my knowledge, one of 13 PRS 8 strings in the world. 8 of them were of a limited run in 2016 in August Guitar of the Month. I have one of those 8. And then there were a few others that were built. One was built for Mark Holcomb, which was the original, out of which the 8 were built. There was another one built for Tosin Abasi. I think the Tosin Abasi one came earlier. It has a nice multicolor, not my thing, but a multicolor kind of a look. Then so that makes 10. Then there was another one in kind of a purple bluish color with a maple fretboard that was stained. That was for a shop in Japan. So that makes it 11, and this is number 12, which is a double stain gray, extremely magnificent paint job. Uh, and the rest of the specs are kind of similar to a Holcomb, which I'll talk about in a second, but this has notably bare knuckle Ragnaroks and a carbon fiber kind of a finish, and these pickups are just unbelievably good. Maybe my new favorite pickups, possibly. So, onto the specs of this thing. So, most importantly, for any extended range guitar, we start off with scale length. This is on the shorter side for 8 string, which is 26.5-inch scale. And right off the bat, I'll tell you that it really does not matter because it's constructed to such high degrees of accuracy and perfection that you can do drop E on this all day long on 74s, if I believe what this guitar has, and it's absolutely fine. So while the Mayonnaise 8 string that I have has a 27 in scale length, this guitar gets by fine with 26.5, and the plus for 26.5 is the remaining 7 strings are much better on 26.5 versus the 8 string. And I don't want multi-scale, that's not my thing, so this works just fine for me. The specs are swamp ash body, so this has that graveyard 2 kind of a look, which looks like rotted ash, but it isn't. It's this beautiful gray color, kind of distressed, but it's a gloss finish. This also has a ziricote, whatever that's called, neck, which is like very high grade. I wouldn't call it rosewood because ziricote is much more beautiful than your typical rosewood. I don't know if this is giving you a good sense of the grain. Maybe I should just take off my strap to give you a better look at this monstrosity of a guitar. And it's not very heavy, despite being just so amazing. Okay, so the top is flame maple, very high grade, and this is double stained gray, so I believe the guitar is stained twice. This has an ebony fretboard with outline birds. These are called outline birds, and this is a private stock, so it has an eagle on the headstock, which shows you that this is a private stock. Ebony fretboard, as I just mentioned. Controls wise, 2 humbuckers with a 5-way switch, which is exactly the same as any custom 24. Master volume, master tone, and the 5-way switch is position 1 bridge, position 2 neck single coil bridge humbucker in parallel, position 3 both humbuckers in parallel or series, but both humbuckers together. Position 4 is both single coils together. Position 5 is just the neck humbucker. So this is an absolutely brilliant guitar. I would say a few things stand out about it. I'm not much of an 8-string player, but this guitar makes playing 8-string easy. If you're used to 7-string, this is just not that difficult. I am not getting confused over the strings at all, and it just opens up new tonal possibilities. You don't have to be a chugger. I am not necessarily a chugger. I really am more on the ambient kind of, clean kind of side of things, just dark music in general. And just having these extra 2 strings gives you so many more note possibilities. You are your own orchestra with this guitar, so that's what really appeals to me. It makes playing 8 strings easy if you're used to a PRS Custom 24, which most of us are, because even if you don't have the core, the SEs are so common. This will feel right at home. The other thing is the quality of this guitar is just beyond anything else, and this is true for any PRS private stock. Private stock are very expensive, but they do represent the pinnacle of guitar building, in my opinion. I know that some of us believe that the late 50s were the pinnacle, but in my opinion, though I don't have any vintage guitars, they're too expensive for me. But just the kind of stuff that is getting knocked out by the PRS private stock team right now is probably the best I've ever seen of all the multitude of Gibsons and other brands that I've owned. And of course, Gibson is not known for quality anyway. And PRS, even regular PRSs, are very high on quality. So this is at a whole different level. It's just so well balanced. Everything is perfect. So it's almost like every part of this guitar was chosen out of a lot of possibilities to make the best possible instrument. And yeah, I really like it. I mean, forgive me if I sound biased too. I do like PRSs, but there is a reason I converted from PRS. It's not a religion, but in the guitar world, it might as well could be. There is a very good reason I converted from Gibson's Les Pauls primarily to PRSs about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's just been going on, and it's expanded from 6 strings to 7 and now 8. So yeah, is this a very relevant review for most? I don't think so, because these guitars aren't really available. I got this guitar. This is the new old guitar that I got, so it was sitting for sale in Japan for about 3.5 years, and then I decided to get it. There aren't that many people who buy PRS 8 strings today. That will change in the future because there's so many 8-string players right now, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more people who can think about putting that level of cash down for 8 string in the future. It's going to happen, just a matter of time. So I was pretty pleased to get this one. I have a PRS 8 string already, one of the original 8 from August 2016, but that guitar is of some historical significance, I think, because it's the first production model 8 string by PRS, and there are only 8 of them. So I treat that one with velvet gloves. With this one, this is the guitar I'm going to play. As you can see, I've already put one of my old straps on it. Fit this thing like a, fit this thing like a, like a glove, a hand to a glove. This already came with Dunlop strap locks, the flush ones, so they're flush inside with the very well factory installed. So it was just made for me. And yeah, just loving every aspect of this guitar, loving the zircote neck, these not unfinished wood, but kind of very lightly finished natural wood necks that PRS makes. Now they only make it in private stock, though you can get some used PRSs from when they used to make it in the core line. These necks, these rosewood necks or something similar, are just at a different level in terms of playability. So I do encourage you, whether you're a 6 string player even if you're a 6 string player, there are plenty of PRSs with those kind of necks. So there are McCarthy's, there are a few custom 24s. Try out these necks. These are just unbelievably awesome. And yeah, and nothing much else to say. Just take another good look at this beautiful thing. It came in a case. This case is behind somewhere. It's a private stock case, but it's larger, so it was quite funny. I thought, no, this case just looks like any other case, but when I put it next to my regular cases, I was like, whoa, that's a much bigger case. Yeah, so, all right. I'm going to continue playing this guitar, and you can go on with your lives after watching this video, which bears no relationship to your purchase decision. All right.